Dating after 60. 5 tips. How to ride a guy and send him crazy. We live in a world where confidence in the bedroom isn't just attractive, it's magnetic, especially after 60. And yet, for so many women, there's this quiet pressure to perform rather than to enjoy, to meet a man's expectations instead of rewriting them entirely. But what if I told you that one of the sexiest things you can do, one of the things that drives a man absolutely wild, is to flip the script, take the lead, and ride him like you own the moment? Because what makes a man lose his mind in the best way isn't some perfect move. It's your presence. It's your confidence. Like you know exactly how powerful you are, and you're about to show him. Welcome back to my channel. It's Vernon again. Today, I'm going to share 5 tips how to ride a guy older women use that make a man want them more and more, without ever raising their voice or asking for attention. Before we begin, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, so you never miss these conversations about real intimacy, real connection, and real love after 60. Let's talk about the hidden magic a mature woman carries, the kind that makes a man melt without a single word spoken. Number 1. Confidence is the most attractive thing. Confidence after 60 isn't loud, flashy, or dramatic. It's steady, grounded, and quietly powerful. A man can feel it the moment you step into his space. It's not about the shape of your body or how flexible you are. It's about the energy you carry. When you're comfortable with yourself, when you move with a calm certainty instead of hesitation, it tells him something deeper than attraction. It tells him, I'm here because I want to be, and I'm choosing you. And that, to a man at this stage of life, is nothing short of electrifying. What draws him in isn't perfection, it's presence. The way you hold eye contact just a second longer, the soft confidence in your smile, the ease in your breath. These small, quiet signals speak louder than anything you could say out loud. Men notice that. They feel it in their chest, in their breathing, in the way their guard suddenly lowers without them meaning to. When you bring confidence into a moment of intimacy, you give him permission to let go of his own insecurities, the ones time, age, and experience have built piece by piece. He doesn't have to perform, impress, or pretend. Your confidence becomes the safety he didn't know he was craving. And in that safety, he relaxes, he opens up, and he becomes more connected to you than he ever expected. That's why confidence is the sexiest thing a woman can bring into the room after 60. Not because it makes you bold, but because it makes you real. Not because it demands attention, but because it naturally commands it. And once he feels that steady, feminine assurance, the kind that comes from a woman who knows herself, he's already halfway undone before anything else even begins. Number 2. Tease with timing and take control. There's a certain magic in the way a woman moves when she understands the power of timing. At 60, seduction isn't about speed or intensity. It's about rhythm. It's about knowing when to slow down, when to lean in, and when to pull back just enough to make him breathe a little deeper. An older man doesn't crave constant motion. He craves anticipation. And nothing captivates him more than a woman who knows how to build that slowly, deliberately, like she's painting emotion onto his body, one moment at a time. When you take your time, you teach him to pay attention. Every shift of your hips, every change of pace, every pause becomes its own form of communication. He starts to feel you, not just physically, but emotionally, because you're not just riding him, you're guiding him. You're showing him that pleasure isn't something to rush through, it's something to savor. And a man your age understands the value of savoring more than anyone else. But timing is only half of the equation. The other half is control, the kind that feels warm, confident, and inviting. Control doesn't mean dominating him or overpowering the moment. When you take control with grace, you give him permission to let go. Men, especially after 60, carry so much tension in their shoulders, their breath, their thoughts. A woman who leads with calm certainty melts all of that in seconds. And something beautiful happens when you combine teasing with leadership. He becomes more responsive, more attentive, more present. His hands start to follow your cues. His body mirrors yours without him even realizing it. That's when the connection deepens, when the two of you aren't performing for each other, but moving together, like a conversation without words. If you've ever felt the shift that happens when you control the rhythm, when timing turns into connection, I'd love to hear your experience. Have you noticed how slowing down or taking the lead changes the way he responds? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what another woman needs to hear. When you guide the pace, you guide the connection. And when you guide the connection, you become the woman he can't stop thinking about with the next tip. Number 3. Use your eyes, hands, and voice. Connection after 60 is a full body language, and the most powerful parts of it often have nothing to do with movement at all. A man feels everything more intensely when a woman uses her eyes, her hands, and her voice with intention, not dramatically, not theatrically, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows the effect she has on him. Your eyes are the first invitation. They tell him how present you are, how much you're enjoying him, how deeply you're letting yourself feel. A soft look, a slow glance downward, or the kind of eye contact that lingers a second longer than expected can send him into a place he hasn't visited in years. Men don't fall for bodies. They fall for the feeling of being desired. And nothing communicates desire more clearly than a woman who isn't afraid to look at him while she moves. Your hands shape the rest of the moment. They can steady him, tease him, guide him, or pull him closer. A gentle touch across his chest, fingers tracing his shoulders, a slow sweep down his arms. These gestures awaken parts of him he thought had grown quiet with age. At 60, a man doesn't just want to be touched. He wants to be seen through touch. He wants to feel that you're exploring him, not out of obligation, but out of genuine curiosity. And then comes your voice, the part of you that reaches him in a way nothing else can. You don't need to whisper anything explicit. Even a soft breath, a quiet moan, or a few honest words, said in a low tone, can make his entire body respond. Your voice anchors him to the moment, pulls him out of his thoughts, and brings him back into the connection you're creating together. When you combine your eyes, your hands, and your voice, intimacy becomes something richer than technique. It becomes communication. It becomes trust. It becomes a shared rhythm that tells him he is desired, chosen, and deeply welcomed. And when a moment becomes that honest, that alive, it naturally leads us toward the next truth, one that shows just how much power a woman truly holds when she understands her own presence. Number 4. Change positions with flow. Man after 60 found a quiet elegance in the way a woman moves when she's not rushing, not forcing, but simply shifting her body with ease. A man values that ease more than anything, not just because it feels good physically, but because it communicates comfort, confidence, and connection. Changing positions isn't about showing off or trying to recreate the intensity of younger years. It's about creating a natural rhythm that both of you can enjoy without strain or pressure. When you transition with flow, you turn the moment into something seamless. Maybe you start by leaning forward, your hands resting on his chest, letting him feel the warmth of your breath. Then, with a gentle sweep of your hips, you shift your angle, adjusting in a way that feels effortless and intuitive. These small transitions tell him you're tuned in not just to his body, but to the energy between you. Men at this age value harmony more than spectacle, and fluidity brings that harmony to life. Flow also builds trust. It shows him you're not afraid of your body or its limits. You're not trying to impress him. You're inviting him into a shared experience. When you move with awareness, slow enough to feel him, smooth enough to stay connected, he relaxes. His breathing settles. His hands follow your lead. And suddenly, intimacy becomes less about positions and more about presence. There's something deeply sensual about a woman who knows how to shift her weight, adjust her hips, or change her posture without breaking the moment. It makes him feel guided, held, and desired. You're not just riding him, you're dancing with him. And that dance, especially at this stage of life, is what keeps the connection vibrant. A woman who changes positions with grace shows a man that pleasure isn't a destination, it's a journey. And he craves the steadiness she brings to that journey more than anything else. How does flow change the way you connect with your partner? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might give someone else the confidence to move in her own rhythm. From that sense of harmony, we naturally arrive at the final truth, a reminder of what truly brings intimacy to life at any age. Number 5. Leave him with emotional fireworks. There's a moment at the end of intimacy that holds more power than most people ever realize. The moment when everything slows down, when the movement fades, and what remains is the emotional imprint you leave on him. After 60, a man doesn't walk away remembering positions or techniques. He remembers how he felt in those final seconds. He remembers the warmth in your eyes, the softness in your breath, the way you held him like he mattered. That's what lingers. That's what makes him crave only you. Emotional fireworks don't come from intensity. They come from sincerity. It's the way you touch his face afterward, the way your hands rest on his chest, the way you stay close instead of pulling away quickly. A gentle laugh, a whispered, "That felt good," or even the quiet of shared breathing can ignite something in him that lasts far beyond the moment. At this age, men respond to emotional presence more than physical sensation. When you wrap the end of intimacy in tenderness, it strikes him deeper than anything your body could do alone. And it's not just about what you say, it's the energy you leave behind. A lingering kiss, a slow stroke along his arm, the calm weight of your body resting against his. These gestures tell him he isn't just a partner in pleasure, he's someone you cherish, someone you enjoy, someone you choose. That kind of emotional affirmation can light up a man's entire world. It makes him feel strong, wanted, and deeply connected. And that feeling stays with him long after the lights are off. A woman who learns how to end the moment with warmth and sincerity leaves a mark he carries everywhere he goes. She becomes the thought he returns to, the comfort he longs for, the spark that makes him feel young again. When you reach this stage of life, intimacy stops being a performance and becomes something far more meaningful, a conversation between two souls who have lived enough to know what truly matters. Everything we explored today wasn't really about technique. It was about presence, confidence, rhythm, connection, and that quiet courage to show yourself without fear of being judged or compared to younger versions of who you once were. Men after 60 don't chase thrill for the sake of thrill. They chase the woman who makes them feel awake again, the one who moves with intention, touches with emotion, and leaves him with a warmth he carries long after the moment ends. What makes him crave only you isn't perfection, it's sincerity. It's the way you look at him, the steadiness of your breath, the way you guide the moment with a softness that only a woman of your age can bring. Intimacy after 60 isn't a second chance, it's a better chance. A chance to love with fewer fears, fewer expectations, and a deeper understanding of what desire really feels like. And if this conversation meant something to you, I'd be grateful if you'd support the channel, like the video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe with notifications on so you won't miss the reflections we explore together. I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching my video till now, and see you next time.